Hello, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of VetsPlusSports.com. This is your host, Terrell Cool Beans Davis, along with my co-host, Mr. James Miller.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing this Saturday night? Hope everyone is doing good. We'll get ready to get started in this episode. But before we do, we'll let Cool Beans do a shout out to our listeners.
Yes, we'd like to thank those that's actually currently watching the live for giving us your undivided attention, and those that have come back and watched the replay. Thank you for that, and thank our cities that listen to us from the audio show. We have cities like San Jose, California, Boardman, Oregon, Ashburn, Virginia, Grinzek, Weiland, Germany, Brussels, Belgium, and Los Angeles, California. Thank y'all for listening.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in and listening to us and our podcast and everything, and listening to the audio. We thank you and appreciate you. We'll go ahead and get started with this episode because we'll talk about some football, probably at least half of it, since we got playoffs coming for the NFL, bowl games, and stuff going on. But we'll run down some scores here in the NHL and the hockey. We'll just skim through it briefly. But as right now, these are the games that's going on right now. You've got in the third period just starting. You got the Penguins and the Senators. Senators on top, 1-0. The end of the second period, the Red Wings are over the Maple Leafs 2-1. It's the start of the third period. You got the Sabres and the Capitals tied up at 2-2. In the third, with 17 minutes left, you got the Ducks and the Blue Jackets tied up at 2-2. The end of the second period, you've got the Jets over the Canadiens 3-1. The Blues over the Stars 1-0. That's the start of the second period right now. Later tonight, here's the game that's getting ready to start right now. Predators and Avalanche there in Colorado. You got the Panthers playing the Flames at 10. The Bruins and the Canucks at 10 p.m. Utah Hockey Club playing the Sharks at 10 p.m. The Lightning playing the Kraken at 10 p.m. And here's some finals from earlier. The Devils beating the Blackhawks 4-1. And then you've got the Rangers and the Kings was playing. The Kings over the Rangers 5-1. The Wild beat the Flyers 4-1. And let's see here. You've got the Oilers over the Golden Knights 6-3. And that's the rundown of some scores for hockey for today. And I ain't going to. Yeah, we'll do standings next week or so. We'll hit some standings there.
Okay.
Talk about those. This season's long. Let's see. Anything from women's NBA news?
Nothing from women's NBA news. I'm still researching something. It's been said that Caitlin Clark is going to get a deal with Adidas, and she's done with Nike, which I don't know how that's going to go because Nike assigned her that $28 million, and they give her like $3.5 million each year in the deal. But yet Nike has not came out and gave her a shoe like they're supposed to have. They haven't done it. And get this, that Paige Buckner, I forget. I think she's UConn. She's coming out about to have a draft. She already has a shoe deal. She already has her shoes out. She got her shoes while she was in college. And they just totally just. But I can understand why a lot of people's pushing and a lot of people are mad about that. But to an extent, Paige ain't getting that $28 million.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, you got staked with the shoe, but they not giving you that. And then, because remember, a while back, they was mad because Aja Wilson's shoe was coming out before Caitlin's. And that's understandable because they got to do Aja's shoe now because Aja's shoe and Caitlin's shoe was out at the same time. One's going to be sold out and one's going to be stocked in the shelves. And we already know whose shoes are just going to be sitting there.
Well, that's crazy. I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't have them shoes out right now.
Exactly.
I'm gonna hit some NBA scores here. That's just for today. But you only got 2 games slated. Earlier you had the Bucks and the Hawks playing. The Bucks beat the Hawks 110-102. It looks like the Bucks are starting to pick up. They're 14-11 now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Thunder and the Rockets are playing right now. They're in the first. 3 minutes left. It's Rockets got 16, Thunder 9. I'll run over some scores from last night's game. You got the Cavaliers beating the Wizards 115-105, and Wizards are 3-20. Man, that's like that makes for a long season when you start the season out like that.
I know.
Um, you had the Pacers beating the 76ers last night, 121-107. The Timberwolves over the Lakers, 97-87. The Grizzlies over the Nets, 135-119. The Bulls over the Hornets, 109-95. The Nuggets over the Clippers, 120-98. The Suns over the Jazz, 134-126. And the Spurs over the Trailblazers, 118-116. And it looks like those Lakers, if you remember, started the season off slow, then got on a streak, was winning, and now they're back down on a downslide.
Yep. And you notice that one was a low game. Neither one of them teams hit over 100.
No,
And the bad news is, I can honestly say that was not a defensive game. They just wasn't hitting.
they
They don't play defense anymore.
no, it's not like the defense you seen back in the 90s and the 80s when you be scoring in the 60s and the 50s.
Exactly.
But they actually played defense. The defense kept them. Almost every possession went down to the shot clock.
Right.
And so you don't hardly see that anymore. It's quick toss ups and stuff. But
Now,
really,
here's something that folks don't take into account when they talk about Jordan's the GOAT, or they're talking about LeBron's the GOAT, and they're talking about LeBron because he has all those points. Well, let's just think. If Jordan played in this league, remember, Jordan was back in the day was scoring 60 points in that defensive era. If Jordan played this year, Jordan can easily get about 90 points.
Easy, because you got to think he's going against Patrick Ewing, Isaiah Thomas. He's going against Magic, Bird, Shaquille O'Neal, which Shaquille was young, but when he towards the latter end of Michael's time.
Right.
But I mean, you got all these players that he had to go against, and when he played Detroit, they beat the crap out of him.
They sure did. You went down that lane, he got mugged. It's like
he did. He had 2 or 3 players on him, and Jordan didn't dish the ball off. He's like, "All right, you're going to bring 2 or 3. I'm going to take you to the hole," and he did. So it's a different type of air. And then too now.
And I was thinking if I put LeBron in that era, he'd get beat to death. And there's no way he would put up the points that he's put up because he'd be too hurt.
He would he wouldn't make it in that era. I'm trying to see if I can't find something. All right, here to see. No, that's not it. Right here. Okay, here it is. Let me bring this up. Okay. I don't know if you've seen this. All right. And this is talking about these is the players throughout the last 20, 30 years talking about Michael Jordan. Okay. Not the players today, not the players that's playing now. These are the past players. This is what Larry Bird said. Okay. This is about Michael Jordan. I would never call him the best player I've ever seen if I weren't serious. This is what Larry Bird said. Magic Johnson. There's Michael Jordan, then the rest of us. Allen Iverson. Mike is the GOAT. Mike will always be the GOAT. Shaquille O'Neal. The Last Dance only solidified the discussion about who is the greatest player of all time. Now, this is Kevin Durant. Now he's playing in today. MJ is one of one. God level, unmatched, a pure master at his stuff. I'm still watching their games to learn. Dwayne Wade. MJ was chosen to be the greatest of all time. Jerry West, he's the best athlete I've ever seen in basketball. Patrick Ewing, LeBron is amazing, but not Michael Jordan. Patrick Ewing went against Michael Jordan. Here's
Mm-hmm.
Vince Carter. I still have to give it to Michael Jordan, Kobe second. That's what I've always said. There's Michael Jordan, and then there's Kobe, and then you can put the rest behind them. That's what I've always said. Hakeem Olajuwon. When people start comparing LeBron to Jordan, it's not a fair comparison. Jordan was a much superior player in a tougher league. He was a
Mm-hmm.
very creative. That doesn't take anything away from LeBron because he's a great player, but it's not a fair comparison. Jordan is just way superior, the GOAT. That was what some players in the NBA had to say about Michael Jordan.
Right.
You want always, especially the players of the day and the younger generation, they're always going to hang on LeBron. But most of them, unless they go, I mean, they got highlights they can watch, but watching it in real time and seeing it when we was growing up and stuff, it was, and we get to see LeBron play. It's not the same.
Right. It's not.
It's not. And the thing is, you can't compare them because and then there's going to be people that's going to disagree and argue this. LeBron does not have any moves. Michael Jordan had moves. Michael Jordan was going to juke. He's going to jive. LeBron's just big and he drives to the basket. That's what it is. They've opened up the lanes for him to drive. But when it comes to dribbling, he can't hold a candle to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, exactly.
All they got to do is pull up Michael Jordan highlights and watch him. He can't do it. Kobe Bryant was probably the closest to that. And that's because Kobe mimicked his game after Michael Jordan. If you listen to Michael Jordan, when Kobe came in the league, Kobe was calling him all the time. Michael Jordan said himself, he said it got old at first. They said, what's this kid keep doing calling me? But he was wanting to mimic his play like Michael Jordan. And if you watch and you see clips of Kobe, his game resembled Michael Jordan because that's what he watched all the time. He would work on shots how Michael Jordan would post people up, and that's what Kobe did. But these kids today, it's in the NBA, it's not even close.
Show not.
You got them complaining about playing 82 games.
I know, right? Yeah.
I mean, Michael Jordan. Not one time did you hear Michael Jordan complain about 82 games. One time did you not hear Michael Jordan say, "Fire my coach, get rid of my coach. I want a new coach."
Yeah, that's true.
He had that respect for his coach, no matter what. Today, there's no respect for coaches. Even in the NFL, you look at the NFL coaches have no weight at all.
They don't.
They're just there, and it's the same thing in the NBA. LeBron James, he's probably leads the NBA with having coaches fired all time leader of a player having coaches fired. But that's what we have as of right now as far as the NBA news, I guess. I'm just seeing here. Yeah, that's all. I mean, there ain't really nothing.
Yeah, nothing really going. They're finishing up that cup right now.
Yeah, and Giannis, yeah, it talks about this. Giannis dominates, leads Bucks to the NBA Cup final. So,
yep. Giannis will face the winner of the Rockets and Thunder.
So they got that cup, which that's just still mind-boggling to me to have. I mean, in the middle of the season. I mean, is it because you're losing viewership, or what? I mean, what's the purpose of it? Does not make sense.
I think that's what it was, to bring viewers back in. I don't get the thing with the cup, or it's just like, it's one of those that we want to give you a participation ribbon, but we don't want to get seen giving you the participation ribbon. So I'll let you work for it.
But I mean, And the thing is, it's like we've mentioned and talked about this. The NBA and hockey probably has the longest seasons that there is.
Mm-hmm.
So when the NBA and the hockey's starting out, who are they competing with? College football and the NFL.
Yep.
You're competing with football. Football is so right now is still dominating this country as far as a sport. I think it's on a decline some since what it used to be. Um, you can start seeing soccer start to rise up in this country. Who would have thought we'd had pro teams and they're filling the stadiums for these soccer games. So soccer slowly on the rise.
Right.
The NFL is slowly on the decline, and NBA too. And I think too, I'm gonna put some of this too. Some of it with the NBA, people are tired of seeing LeBron have so much control. I mean, they give him too much control over the team. Whatever he says goes, and there's no structure there. He's pretty much a player's coach when it comes down to it.
Yeah. Look at the stunt they pulled with Bronny.
Yeah,
Brought him on just to get a spot,
to
play
be
that first game. All right, now you go back to the G League.
yeah, and you know what that just goes to show you right there, and I think that's probably what, and I just put a further gap between trying to get viewers is that talks about all about I.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at the Jameses. They're the first father son duo in the NBA. Even though his son is not good enough to play in the NBA, I mean, he probably won't make it in the NBA.
I don't think. I think that little glimpse we got on game one, be it.
That's it. I mean, and so, and the thing is, they could have drafted a better player. So he was all behind that. So it's ridiculous when it comes down to it. It is. I mean, to see that and see what's going on. I see it. You know, as a father, you're a father. I'm a father. Yeah, we always. I mean, you would love to do that to play with your son. You know, if you're in at a professional level. But I mean, I'm not going to go. I would never do what LeBron did. Never.
Right.
If my son didn't earn that spot, and that's the problem you got today. Give me. Not having kids to work for it. And if he didn't earn that spot, I'm not going to try to pull him into it. You know. So
Right.
that's how I am. That's how I grew up. I mean, if somebody's better than you, I mean, somebody's gonna get that spot. You got to work for it, and that's what the transfer portal has brought to college. Kids don't work for nothing no more. I mean, you work to get better.
True.
You know, I know when we was growing up, if there was a position I wanted to play, I wanted that position. I knew I had to work hard to get that. Like Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, what was it? Michael Jordan, his sophomore year in high school, got cut.
Yeah, he got cut.
Didn't even make the team. You know what he did? His mom said he was out there at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. She'd hear a basketball. She'd go turn the lights on, looking. He's outside practicing. 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. You go and work for it. You get it. So you don't have that no more. You very seldom have that today within sports because, well, if I don't get what I want, I'm gonna go elsewhere.
Exactly.
And there's no working. There's no working for a position. I'll just go elsewhere so I can play and stuff like that. And that's what you're seeing a lot today in sports. Let's see here. Anything else you want to mention with the NBA right now?
Nah, I think I'm good on the NBA.
All right, let's go some college. I didn't know this was college football. All right. I guess they had that last night, or was it tonight? Yeah. They just had it tonight. Guess who just won the Heisman?
Oh yeah, I did see that. I forgot all about that.
Hunter wins the Heisman. I was hoping he would win it.
Yep.
When's the last time? I did a deep watch. He's an offensive and defensive player.
Yeah, he's playing wide receiver and defensive back. But most likely, it's like they always want to give it to a quarterback,
That's it. Exactly.
which
Uh,
that could have went to his brother.
well, the thing is, Boise State's Ashon, he came in second. They said it was a close vote. So I watched him in that Boise State when they was in their championship game. He's a tough, hard runner. Ashton is. He gets. I mean, I think he'll do pretty good, maybe in the NFL and stuff. He's a hard runner. It takes 2 or 3 guys to bring him down because he's a physical back. So we'll see. I don't know if he is if he's a junior or a senior. I don't know. I have no idea on that yet.
Right.
But I'll mention a couple scores right now. They had the Navy and Army game today, and my Army boys forgot they had a game and let Navy run all over them. They got beat by Navy 31-13. Hey,
Ooh, wow.
ain't sure who's Navy playing again? You remember?
Navy didn't get a bowl game, I didn't think.
Yeah, they got a bowl game because I picked Navy and I think you went again. No, you went with Navy too. But yeah, they got a bowl game. I can't remember who they're playing.
I can't either. I have 5-minute memory, so I don't even remember us picking.
But what's his name? See, here's the thing. They have they run that triple option, and you had one of the quarterbacks for Navy had 25 carries for 204. And I guess with 2 touchdowns, and then the other quarterback's the one that throws the ball. He was 4 of 9 for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's got to be a record. So, and then one of those passing touchdowns, was a 52-yard pass to the running back.
Wow.
That is the game for the Navy and Army game. And we mentioned last week if they would end up playing. I asked your boss there where you work, him being in the Navy,
Right.
and he said he said I'm pretty sure they play both because you got different venues. Okay, the Army won that division, so they would be playing at their place compared to where they played in Philly. That game was
bowl game, yeah.
And you got to think there's so much behind this game because it's a big game, a rival game. So much money, tickets, everything sold. So they'd have had back-to-back games. That would have been pretty interesting.
It would have been interesting
to see. Also, we had our bowl game started today. We had 2. Let's see if I can get the score up here. And we got our first pick right. You had Jackson State beat South Carolina State 28-7. I thought I went against Jackson State for the reason being that's where Rick Rodriguez was coaching. And if you remember, I just said was coaching. He is now the coach at WVU. He took that job during the week. For the majority of the fans are excited, and the rest of y'all are delusional. I'm going to say that. Y'all can get mad at me all you want. So, and I got some stats I wrote down and showed you. And
we went over it. Did your homework on that one?
I did my homework. And the thing is, some of these people just blow smoke. They don't pay attention. I remember, yes, he left West Virginia. We talked about this in our earlier audio during the week.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 sides to every story. There was a reason why he left, but I followed him when he left to see how he did where he went. And the only place he didn't win was Michigan. And there's a reason for that too. You got to think, he didn't have a transfer portal. They only gave him 3 years. That wasn't enough time to get his players in.
No, especially year one, that wasn't enough. him going from WVU to Michigan. One, that's a big step.
It is, and it's a culture shock. And the thing is, if people would watch that interview with Pat McAfee asked him. This was 3 years ago. This is the first time he had ever talked about it. And Pat McAfee asked him. He said, "We wondered what you was thinking when you went up there because the culture shock it was going to be." And he said, "Well," he said, "it was a big culture shock." And he said, "That's why it didn't gel too well the 3 years I was there." But he said we was getting there. But he left after the issue with WVU and the program over money for his assistant coaches. He was trying to get more money for his assistant coaches so he could keep them there. Well, that president at the time told him to leave it or keep it, so he left it. And he said the first time he stepped foot on that campus is when he took that job at Michigan. So he had a knee-jerk reaction. He let emotions, I guess, take over me. Like, all right, he got mad, and then he just took that job and left. So with that being said, you got the fans out there. I'll run down through this real fast, and we'll continue with some of our stuff. And right now, let me mention this. Right now, we got the second bowl game going on. You got Western Michigan and South Alabama. It's in the first right now, just now getting started. Western Michigan is 7-0 over South Alabama. Both of us had Western Michigan. Both of us picked Jackson State, so we'll see what happens there. But getting back to Rich Rodriguez, his career coaching record, I hear fans talking about all the time, he don't win. Everywhere he's been since he left West Virginia, he has not won. Well, I'm getting ready to shoot that down right now.
There you go.
His coaching records, he has a record of 136-91, which is a .599, almost 600 percentage. All right. His he has played in 12 bowl games. He was at West Virginia for 7 years. He had 5 bowl games there at West Virginia. His last 3 years at West Virginia, he went 32-5. All right. Yeah, he went to Michigan. He lost. I knew that fit wasn't going to go right. It didn't. He goes to Arizona, to where he was there, I think, 6 years. Yeah, he was 6 years at Arizona. Took them to 5 bowl games in 6 years. 2014, they went 10-4 for the third time in program history. That team won 10 games for the
third time ever
in 2014. But he's not a winner. He don't win. He's a 2-time Big East Coach of the Year, 2014 Pac-12 Coach of the Year, 2024 Conference USA Coach of the Year. But this guy doesn't win. He can't coach.
Yeah.
His stint at West Virginia, he won the Big East 4 times: 2003, 2004, 2005, and 2007. His stint at West Virginia, he 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He beat 10 teams that were ranked in the top 25 in those 7 years there. All right, getting at that, I mentioned that Neil Brown in his 6 years at West Virginia. These are for the West Virginia fans wanting to keep Neil Brown. I even had my father-in-law say, well, if Neil Brown was there, he would have won the championship next year. I said, no, he wasn't. I'm getting ready to show you why. All right, Neil Brown was there 6 years, okay? And I said at least 2 of these years. I went back to 4. In the last 4 years, Neil Brown did not beat a team on his schedule that finished with a winning record. Yeah, y'all going to say, well, they beat North Carolina in the bowl game. Yeah, they did, but they didn't have their quarterback. They didn't have May. They didn't have their receiver. So you're playing with backup. So that don't count. So at that time, their losses, all right, in 2024, the teams that beat them, all right, they lost 6 games this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, those 6 teams, when they beat them, let's see, I got this here somewhere. I got it backwards, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't write that down there. I was going with the total combined. Let's see, 4, 8, 12, 19, 21, 24, 16, 24, 34, 46, 52. Well, a 52-24 record, the teams that beat them this year. That was their combined record. All right. And 23, the teams that beat them. All right. They had, and I didn't count the small school on each year. I didn't count that on none of the losses or wins or whatever. 4 losses to 3 winning teams. They lost to Houston, who had a losing record, but their record was 34-18. That was in 23. 22, with all their losses, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses in 22. They didn't make a bowl game. Those teams' combined records was 58-35. And then in 21, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses, and it was 57-23, the records of those. Those were teams that had winning records at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's his wins. And I'm in the same 4 years. These are the wins, okay? These are teams that he beat. All right. This last year, he 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He had, this is just the 7 wins I picked. I didn't count the bowl game and the extra game at that small school. He went, their record was 32-54. That's the teams he beat in 23. They were 32-54. 24 this year. They were 20. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games I picked here. They were 21-39, losing records. 22. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 games. They only had 5 games they won. The other game was a small school. That record, 25-28. 21, same thing. The 25-37 was the records for the teams that they beat. So if you look, someone said that Rich Rodriguez was a subpar coach. I just brought stats to you. A subpar coach is Neil Brown. I don't even know if you call him as a subpar.
I know, right?
Them stats I just read off to you is below par.
Exactly. And like, the numbers don't lie. The numbers show if that's a losing team, yeah, he's going to win that game. But to be a competitor, you got to beat the ones that are winning.
And Texas Tech, what I'd say at that last game of the year.
Oh, you said they wouldn't win that. You said they ain't going to win down there.
They ain't
never done
it. Texas got a winning record, and they've beat Texas the previous years, but Texas had a losing record.
Uh-huh.
So they went down there, and they got destroyed in Lubbock. So it was time for Neil Brown to go on. People said, well, that wasn't the right hire. And this is what I commented on these West Virginia pages. The thing is, I didn't see Nick Saban's name on the list. I didn't see Myers. I didn't see Day. I didn't see Kirby Smart. I didn't see none of them others or whoever. All right, who else you going to hire then? Exactly. Out of the whole list, that list of coaches they had on there, and they had Army's coach's name on there. Think about that. I shook my head. How in the world are you going to interview him? All right. How does he have connections and ties to recruit? Because he's at Army. Army don't recruit. You get your 4 guys. Army, Navy don't recruit. Once them guys sign the dotted line, you're property of the government. So they're there for their time there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, well, I'm going to go to Georgia and I'm going to recruit this guy. It don't work that way. So they was talking to him. I seen down on the list. The only one that if I would have, if it wasn't Rich Rodriguez, maybe the UNLV coach. That'd have probably been the only one. But the thing is, Rich Rod fits the thing because if you look at the candidates, supposedly there was 15. I didn't know there was that many candidates.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
But a lot of them turned it down. So, and I say some of it could be because of our fan base. We got some good fans, but there's a majority of the fans are just pretty, they're pretty sorry. They're just, I guess, I don't know if they've ever played a sport in their life, but they give it down the road and bash mouth and talk bad about everybody. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what West Virginia can do now. And I'll say this, since they got a transfer portal now, he can win quicker.
Yep.
And Pat McAfee said what I said. I think he can start winning right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought up because of the transfer portal. He can bring in talent. He can coach what you call a 3-star or 4-star player, turn him into a 5-star. That's how he is. That's how he does. He can coach to the talent, and actually he brings his talent to another level than most coaches does. Most coaches, I'm going to say this, and even Nick Saban is one of your greatest probably coaches, college coaches ever. Even Nick Saban, he's bringing in the top talent.
Right.
All right. So he's at the top level. He can't bring it up. I mean, it's right there. They can work on a few things. Then you got Rich Rodriguez and a couple other coaches throughout the country, like Rich, is bringing the 3 stars or 2 stars and then 4 stars and elevating their play. That's what and who else in the NFL does that remind you of? Bill Belichick.
Yep.
If you look at his stint there at New England, Tom Brady only had one Hall of Fame receiver that I know of. And I may be missing one, but the one that comes to my mind is Randy Moss.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Tom Brady had no named receivers, and they elevated their play. So, and that's what Rich Rodriguez does. He elevates the play. I'm excited. I can see them at least winning 6 to 8 games next year, and then year 2, 3, by year 4, West Virginia is going to be in the playoffs. They'll be contending. They're going to win the Big 12. They'll win the Big 12 championship. I'd say probably by year 3. Only thing's going to be contending is Deion Sanders and his crew there in Colorado is going to be putting a stand to that probably.
Yeah, he
But
ain't gonna worry about that. He'll be with the Dallas Cowboys then.
nah. All right, Jerry Jones. All right, Jerry Jones. But that's what we have right now. Let's see what games. The next game, bowl game, is Tuesday. That's Memphis and West Virginia. Now, evidently, I guess Memphis has got all their players playing. Okay. Their quarterback is threw for 3,200 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. So you know what that means? They're going to throw all over that defense.
Yeah.
West Virginia's pretty much got majority of their players back. Their best defensive player, Josiah Trotter, left from the transfer portal. He was a true freshman. That's going to hurt up front. I still think if Memphis got all their players, Memphis wins this ball game.
Right. Remember we was talking about when Trotter hit that portal. Maybe that was the plan all along. I got to thinking about that. Maybe that was the plan because I was like, why would he go to a big school like here at WVU? He was the star.
Yeah.
He was the star. That defense, he was that defense.
I mean, he was all over the place. That guy is good.
Right. But, that might have been the plan from the beginning. I mean, like, you spend your first year here, and then you're going to do stuff there and move on to this bigger school.
Well, he's going to move on all right. He's gonna hit one of your top schools. I mean, it may be a Ohio State, it may be a Georgia, it may be Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Alabama, but he's going to hit a big school. He's good. He was a true freshman. I don't know what his stats was. I ain't looked at him. He may have led the team in tackles. I don't know. But that young man's good, and he's going to be in the NFL someday. You're going to see it. So. Then we got a bowl game Wednesday. You got James Madison and Western Kentucky. California, UNLV is also Wednesday at 9. Thursday, you got Georgia Southern, Sam Houston. And then a whole lot of slate of games coming Friday. Friday also starts the playoffs.
Right.
So, but I ain't going to run down the rest of these.
Now, I got a question for you there. We talked about, before the show began, we talked about Marshall is not going to be playing a bowl game.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
But my thing is, are they going to get another team to fill in? Because, I mean, like, you got that's money lost.
They can, because that hurts Army, because Army's out of Was it Army? Yeah, Army.
Yeah, Army was playing Marshall.
They can do what this happened. You've seen in the past with teams that. All right, first when they go with these bowl games, they submit the offer to the team, to the college, to see if they'll accept it, and they accept it. Okay, well, and then every now and then you'll have a team that not accept it, and then they'll go to a team that's close to making it. It may be 5-7. The team may be 5-7 instead of 6-6, because if you win 6 games, that automatically got you eligible for bowl eligibility.
Right.
So they could find a team out there to fill that in to play with Army. But I don't know. They may do that. I don't know.
Yeah, because to me, because like tickets they sell, because it's better to sell them in advance versus trying to pay at the door because you're gonna pay a lot more.
Yeah.
So whatever bowl game that was, they probably already sold tickets. Now that we just because I don't know, when did you find out Marshall was dropping? I know you told me that today.
Well, I found out today. I seen it in the news, which we talked about this during the week. That I seen where a bunch of players left, and I said there's a possibility they may not have the players to play the bowl game.
Right.
Well, they had 29 players, scholarship players, hit the portal after their coach left. So that puts a big hurting. Now Marshall's not a real big school, compared to like WVU and Michigan and all these other bigger schools. So when you had 29 players, and I'm going to tell you this, I mean, that would even cripple West Virginia. When I mean, they can still suit up. They can still, because I mean, their depth is deep as far as some positions. But I mean, that's still going to cripple West Virginia to where you're not winning that bowl game, depending on what players left and stuff like that. So it's sad to see. I hated it because I mean, Marshall went 10-3, I think, on the year. They won the Sun Belt Championship, and what happened was the coach took a job, I think, at Southern Miss. He left elsewhere, so then all the players boarded. Boom, they left. They will change this. They'll change this because after they see this, well, they're either going to do away with the bowl games or they'll have to change the transfer portal when they can leave. And also, I don't know if me and you talk about so much stuff at work. And I don't know if we talked about this or if I found this out after our audio during the week. Actually, it is. I think I found out it was after. They were going to put a cap on the kneel like the NFL.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so now that is going to change everything. There will be a cap, and it's going to be voted on, I think. I heard Pat McAfee talking about it in April. So it'll be a cap, just like the NFL is going to do a cap on the quarterbacks. There will be a cap on what the players in college can make, and they need to. I mean, you got an 18-year-old got 2, 4, 5, 9 mil. What the crap?
I know.
I mean, and that's just ridiculous. And it's not because he's got that money. I mean, just at the age and stuff like that. But there will be a cap put on that.
Probably like you get some of them kids that they smart, really smart at the age. If I'm making, let's just say it was $5 million a year, and if I stayed in school all 4 years, I earned $20 million, got my my degree. Why even go in the NFL?
Well, here's the thing: I'm gonna bring this out, and there's some out there because what about the parents that's taking that money from their kid? Think about that. Because then because some kids ain't gonna go get their parent, and then their parents out there living it up off of their son and his money. I mean, there's parents out there that would be doing that, and they're probably doing it.
Yep.
You got anything else with college?
Nah, I ain't got nothing with college.
All right, we'll get here. We'll start with the NFL. We had a game Thursday. I watched it. It was boring. But on that note of it, it was pouring to rain in San Francisco, which cost me. Because right before that, I didn't pay attention to the weather, and I was putting Jennings in all my fantasy leagues. I said, Jennings going to wear it out, wear it out. I turned the game on, and it's pouring the rain. It's game done started. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And he didn't do nothing. But the Rams won 12-6. You had a 49er player, I can't remember his name, walk off in the fourth quarter to quit pretty much.
Oh, I want to say
Um,
Greenlaw is the name that's coming to mind, but I don't know if it was
No.
linebacker Greenlaw. It's
it
a
wa-
linebacker that did it.
oh, well, the other one, Greenlaw. Remember, Greenlaw just came back from an Achilles that he tore in the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
So Greenlaw just came back. That's his first game back. He has some stiffness, you could tell. Man, I can't think of their other good linebacker they got. Well, anyway, they asked Kyle Shanahan about that. And he said, well, he was just done playing for the day. So he went to the locker room.
For the day, something.
For the day, you're making millions of dollars.
Uh-huh.
You're one of their top linebackers. And, okay, I'm going to go. I'm done for the day. I'm going inside. They pay you to play 4 quarters. Nowhere in that contract that it says, well, you just get paid for 3 quarters.
Yep.
That
To
sounds
me,
like a
he did
LeBron
an
James
Antonio Brown.
or a LeBron James. He done a walk-off. He done a walk-off before the game. He was getting beat, so he done a walk-off. LeBron James gets beat. Well, I'm done. I'm going to – y'all can have it. I'm going to the locker.
Yeah, but LeBron come back for the next game. I don't think this dude coming back. I think he done.
Sore loser. But, yeah, the Rams, they won 12-6. The standings, I'm going to talk about the standings there out west in the NFC because it's all starting to tighten up a little bit. You get out there and you've got Seattle's leading that division 8-5, and the Rams needed that win because now they're 8-6. Arizona's 6-7, and the 49ers are 6-8. So that league there's all close, knotted up, tied up, however you want to say it. And then you look at the NFC South, Tampa Bay still holding on 7-6. The Falcons are 6-7. And New Orleans is still in the picture to win that division. They're 5-8. And Carolina just still hanging on with 3 wins. So, and then if I get up here, I'm on the wrong side here somewhere. What happened here? Oh, man. Well, I just messed something up. I'm going to brighten this on my computer.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, let's get back up here. Let's see. Everything else is still about the same, but that we'll just keep an eye on those divisions there. It's going to start getting tight in the AFC North. You got the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Bengals. Bengals are pretty much, they're 5-8. They're pretty much, the Browns are they're eliminated. They're out.
Yeah.
The Steelers, they're 10-3. Baltimore Ravens are 8-5. Here's the thing. Ravens play the Giants this weekend. They're going to beat them.
That's a win for them, yeah.
So they'll go 9-5. The Steelers, who's the Steelers playing again?
Steelers is playing Eagles.
Eagles.
No, the Steelers. I said that wrong. The Steelers are beating those Eagles.
They're playing the Eagles. my buddy, he's a Ravens fan. He said we need the Eagles to beat those Steelers because the Ravens ends up playing the Steelers later on. So the Ravens still have a shot to win that division.
I don't know who I was watching one of the Fox, I want to say it was Fox Sports. One of them put the bad juju. I don't know which team he put it on, but they say the Steelers has not won in Philly since '85.
Well, they're playing in Philly.
Yeah.
But the only thing good they got going for him is AJ Brown's ruining the continuity and everything. It's in
and that dude, AJ, he did it last year.
He did it last year.
He keep his mouth shut.
They skid, and he's doing it again this year. And he's going to ruin it again for him. Jalen Hurts just needs to speak up and tell him to shut up.
Exactly.
Just shut up and play. But you got the Eagles.
Shut up and push. That's that's their
That's
job.
it.
The tush push. Shut
That's
up
it.
and push.
You see, the Eagles, they're 11-2, so they're already in the playoffs. Commanders are 8-5, so everything's getting pretty tight in some of these divisions. There's just a few of them. Most of them is pretty much self-explanatory. Let's go back to the NFC, AFC, the West, where my Chiefs are at. See, the Chiefs are 12-1. And then you've got the Chargers and the Denver Broncos, both at 8-5. The Chiefs has already played the Chargers twice
And beat them twice.
and beat them twice. They played Broncos once, beat them, and they finished with the Broncos at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the Chiefs they've already got the division wrapped up. They done won it.
Yeah, it's already sold up. And you asked me what it's gonna be is Bo Nix did good, but I don't think it'll be enough for him to get the playoffs. He'll learn, he have that experience of trying to make that playoff run, but I don't think he'll win. And I think if they're gonna bring a second team from that division, it'll be the Chargers.
Let's see. I'm trying to bring up here standings. Right now, I'm trying to see if we got the wild card. The way they're doing this. Huh.
Yes, it's back to there's only one team that gets the bye.
Yeah, Chiefs. Right, the number one seed gets a bye. So then you got what 6 other teams, correct? There's 7 from each side. Yeah, that would be right because you got 6 teams. You're going to have 3 games.
Yeah, that's right.
So 1, 2, 3. All right, 4, 5, 6. So as of right now, in the AFC, the Ravens are outside. They got the 5 seed. Okay. You got the Chargers, got the 6th seed, and the Broncos got the 7th seed as of right now. The Broncos hold a 2-game lead over the Colts.
Okay.
So if Denver wins this weekend and Chargers, they win 2 more games, that should seal them, I would think. Then let's go to the NFC. This is what we got. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's see here. Let me look at my notes. They got notes over here to the side. Okay. Just talking about the Ravens there. All right, we already know all this stuff. Let's get down. And the Ravens, if the Ravens and Chargers tie, Ravens hold the tiebreaker because the Ravens beat the Chargers.
Right. Okay.
Then over here in the NFC, you've got Detroit leading at 12-1, the Eagles 11-2, and then you got Seattle leading their division 8-5, Tampa Bay at 7-6, and then here's from 5-7. Minnesota's in the 5th spot at 11-2. Green Bay is in the 6th spot at 9-4, and then the Commanders are in the 7th spot at 8-5, just edging out the Rams right now at 8-6. The Falcons are at 9 and on 4th down. So that's where we're at as far as the playoffs go in your wild card. So the Broncos and the Chargers control their destiny right now.
Right.
If they can win the next 2 games, both of them, they should be all right because you only got 4 games left, correct? Yeah, 4.
That is correct. Last 4.
They win the next 2 games, both of them, they're in. I'll have to go back down through here and look real fast because I can't remember who each other plays. Broncos are playing the Colts. So if the Broncos beat the Colts, that's it. They're done. That's 3 games.
Yeah, they should eliminate the Colts.
As far as getting there, I mean the Broncos would have to skid, which the Broncos are going to probably lose maybe the last game to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Maybe the Chiefs
depends on if that last game actually means something or not.
Yeah, and if the Chiefs have that number 1 seed sold up, then the Broncos will probably win it because they ain't gonna be starting their starters.
Well, they'll still start them. It's just they ain't playing past that first drive.
And then you got the Chargers. They're playing the Bucks. Both of these teams got to win. And both of them can't win unless they tie. So, but that's what we got right now. We're getting close on time for this hour. It goes by quick and fast. We got the games going on tomorrow and everything. So everybody just gonna be tuning in, watching these games and stuff. And we'll see. And I done forgot. Let's see. Oh, that's right. My Chiefs are in Cleveland because I was planning on trying to go to that game, and I decided not to because I didn't want to go with the cold.
Right.
But because they're playing in Cleveland, I don't know. I doubt it. I don't think they're going to be snowing, so they should be all right. Either both teams can play in the snow, so it don't matter. But like we always do, we're going to end this episode. If you're thinking about harming or hurting yourself, there's a quick number you can call. It's 988. You dial it, hit 1. They get you in contact with the people you need to talk to. That's the Veterans Crisis Line. Or you can dial 1-800-273-8255. Get in contact. Or you can go to your local VA medical center. Go to the ER. Tell them you need to talk to somebody, and they'll get you the resources that you need to. And don't be afraid to take that step. It's well needed. Talk to someone. Get the stuff off your chest. Get you the help you need.
Right.
Beans, you got anything else?
I got one thing to put out. I'm kind of put us on the spot. And the reason why I got to put us on the spot so that I know we'll follow through and actually do it. So we got 2 weeks till Christmas. It's not really 2 weeks. It's like, what, 10 days, 11 days?
Yep.
But anyway, Christmas is on a Wednesday. We're not going to have a day show. We're not going to do the radio
audio
show.
No.
But we'll do that Saturday. We'll do the live.
The live, yeah.
So it'd be that's the week of Christmas. That Saturday, that's what I wanted to go ahead and do our awards show. Now,
Okay.
you and I have been discussing, like, we got such and such, this person. Our award is called the Wounded Warrior. And the reason why it's called the Wounded Warrior is because no matter how it is, like us being military, us being soldiers and sailors, you know, when we wounded, we don't just like, we have a bench, but, you know, we still, even though the bench helps us out, we still have to, you know, we still have to
go
carry on. We have to follow
That's
through.
right.
And that's what it is. So we have some players in this league, like Luka, for instance. Luka played hurt many a day.
Yeah, he did.
And, you know, you can tell, be like, we're like, wow, Luka only had 21 points today. Luka's actually hurt, and Luka still played.
Yeah, he
and
did.
It's like, you know, you're not hearing that about Embiid. Embiid, you know, but I'm not going to get on Embiid right now about them injuries and him not wanting to play and everything. But, you know, it's to each his own. But we need to do our Wounded Warrior. We need to go ahead and do it live. When we do that live, we'll go ahead and tell who we got for those awards that's be going out. And I was like, that Christmas, that'll be long enough because so far we've picked most of the players already. We haven't picked one for NFL yet, but it's getting time that where it's like we're already 14 weeks into it. We pretty much know or should have who our guy is.
Yep. Sounds good.
But that's all I wanted to put out.
All right. We'll do that here in a couple weeks or whenever, right before Christmas or after Christmas. But
Yep, be after Christmas.
All right. Well, that's all the time we got for this episode. Y'all stay safe, stay warm if it's cold where you're at, and have a good weekend. And we'll see you Wednesday on our audio. Have a good one.
All right.